Hello, and welcome back to A Better World. This is your host, Mitchell J. Rabin, and we're very glad that you're joining us again today. Today we're going to have another very interesting show. We have a very wonderful gentleman here from Brazil, Eduardo de Souza, who's been leading workshops in the United States and Europe and South America on the subject of increasing people's spiritual awareness of themselves and the universe actually around them. The work he's doing involves a lot of understanding of what it is that creates reality, how do we construct reality, how do we understand reality, and what is the geometry that actually has a tremendous bearing in our understanding of and the shaping of life. As you all know, we are at this most interesting time period in human history. We have a new president. We are positioned in a way that if we do not do something major among ourselves, the people who really care about what this planet looks like and the way we handle things, we may be in a lot of trouble. Thank God for people like Eduardo who are leading these workshops in many different spots across the world to help people get informed about our true divine heritage. And it's for that reason that we wanted him on the show today to speak with us a little bit about his background and the kind of work that he is doing. Bienvenidos.
Well, thank
you so much.
Thank you too. Your important function in work, because we need is expand the light.
This is true. Thank you. Thank you very much. We have to work together, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, Eduardo, I had the pleasure and the honor of being in your workshop today. It was a very powerful experience. Why don't you speak to us a little bit about sort of the goal of the workshop, what it is you want most to convey to the participants?
This first workshop, we have one work and pointing for recuperate the memory, where we come from, who we are, and what we can do with this.
Sure.
No, because we have many information around us in books and today we have information about many things, and the humanity today have one part of the process, ascension process, in the planetary ascension. And in the workshop we work with the three levels of the physical body, emotional body, and mental body for restructure the concepts of how we can use these bodies or vibrations.
The way these are the bodies that we need to unite, in a sense, under one roof.
Exactly.
In one house.
Exactly.
In order to be creative.
Yes, and in one universe with a centropy and not entropy. It is important to understand why the chaotic elements around us construct us reality today, and we can, if we awake for this line, this vertical line, and construct the centropy or the reality from this same place, and the universal mind, what name we have, many names for God, but it's just one, and we can
the names are many, but God is one.
Yes, exactly. And we can construct this reality in one order. And this order is not repression, it's not the old experience with religion, no?
The so-called old paradigm.
Exactly.
Which we're shifting from.
Yes, and when you start in this moment, you understand the laws, the physical laws. This is illusion, a very old name, Maya, illusion, for understand this is soft, or this is, we can move this.
It's plastic.
Reality. Exactly.
It's flexible.
And flexible in your perspective is very important for construct or reconstruct this reality. We have many things around us, like information, and the form, inform, But when you walk on the streets, you receive information every days, every time.
Sure.
The sounds, the lights, the colors, and if we paying attention in this, and not like a neurotics, and no, this means this means, but just open your heart and flow this information, you can choose what you can use and for your construct your reality, what doesn't not doesn't mean nothing for your reality, no?
Well, what's going on? Just to translate a little bit from English to English.
Yes, okay.
One of my jobs with everybody
Yes,
is to
yes.
say that science, which is one of the new religions, if you will, and very powerfully and perhaps very appropriately so, gives us a vantage point to understanding what all the ancient teachings were always saying,
Yes.
which is that out of nothing comes something, and everything is very malleable.
Exactly.
So with that understanding, we understand that in a sense spiritually. Now with science, we can actually show it and prove it quantum physically.
Exactly. Like, for
It's
example,
bonita. I mean, it's just beautiful.
yes,
I mean, you know?
it's wonderful. Really, it's wonderful and perfect in this
Because we're conditioned
possibilities.
to think scientifically.
Yes,
And it's a very good thing. It's a very powerful teacher.
this is the base of the 0 point technology, is absorb free energy from the space, from the because we understand the laws of the universe, we can receive energy, free energy. Well, for make this step, we need broke many concepts of the control, and
We need to break concepts, current
exactly,
concepts, yes.
and cultural concepts, no, because
Oh, yes.
we have the control. We need work for make money, and we work for live, and we don't live finally, and
Right, right. After all the work, we are not living much anyway.
yes, and maybe you have many material things, but just the life go, really go, and you look out. I live my life really. Well, this is important question. The 0 point technology can put in the planet one new concept about this important revelations. It's a spiritual revelations, but it's a scientific too. We see the quantum physics is an important example of
Sure.
in the physics, and the biologic discoveries is very important too. And if we understand the blood, this is a strong process for understand who we are, because the blood is the map of your soul in the material plane. If you understand what is the blood, you can understand many forms of the manifestation.
So what are you saying the blood is?
Is the ego, or is the soul in the material manifestation? It's like we have a physical body for receive or support the
For
blood,
purposes to receive,
or support the blood.
the blood.
Exactly. Is a
It
very
gives it a form
exactly.
through which to move.
If you can talk, it's like you can talk. If you God is not artistic, no, it's God is art too, and for my name is God, no? Maybe other names, but it's artistic. If he does not artistic, we are like blood moving in the streets. It's not beautiful, no.
Right, it's messy.
Well, but
However, when you encase it
yeah,
in a body, house it in a body,
exactly.
that's another story.
Yes, and we can reconstruct this body. You know, the Babaji, for example, other controllers, other beings can control the physical bodies and the pain and many things. This reality is part of the process in the improvement of the technology in the planet today, because this is a technology from the right side of the brain, and this is a light technology. In the workshop we activate this technology, we recuperate these memories, because we have so much help and geometries. Geometry is a language, the form inform again, and this irradiation we receive in the workshop, because we construct one electromagnetic field around the group, and with techniques, energetic techniques, accelerate the energy. When we accelerate the energy, we remember. We don't need to read so much books for understand this. We just remember.
So the workshop, in a sense, you create a Merkaba.
Exactly.
Do you not?
Yes.
And that accelerates the consciousness, all the bodies, the three bodies that we have, to
Yes.
a level of being able to open up to this being the book.
Yes.
Our emotional life, our feeling life,
Yes.
our heart,
And
becoming the book
yes,
most worth reading.
the blood is a book too.
Yeah, definitely.
In this moment we contact this.
Of course.
This
Oh,
is,
uh-huh.
in this moment we contact this
Yeah.
and remember.
I see. So we can remember, in a sense, when we talk about bloodlines, one of the things we're doing is remembering the history of our family,
Yes.
right? But if
The-
you go back far enough,
What do you
Excuse me, find?
the material family and the cosmic family, because we have in the blood the memories of the stars. It's the same material, really.
indeed, indeed.
But
We
have
are literally stardust.
exactly. Mm.
Now, do you have, in some of your spiritual experiences, of which I know there have been many since childhood, just about, do you have memories of being elsewhere before on Earth?
Well, my experience, yes, is many experience I can remember, because why I have help. It's difficult in this vibration today. If we don't open the one door, one important door, interdimensional door, we cannot remember. Just remember, we need help, and I receive help, and I share this help, because I know if we work together, it's very, very quickly the change, the planetary change. And these people have the control, the monetary control today, or politic or military control, knows this. We can do this change in harmony, and can create this new reality with other bases. It's important for everybody, because we know if we walk in this continuously in this direction, we destruct the humanity. Maybe
It's already happening.
yes, the numbers is very strong.
So your point is that, Eduardo, we can come together collectively. And this, of course, is one of the purposes that makes you do the workshops.
Exactly.
To bring people together, help them get educated about who they really are, you could say cosmically.
Yes, cosmically.
And then in a sense, you take that mastery
Yes.
and express it,
Yes.
and utilize it
Yes.
on Earth
Yes.
to make important
And
spiritual changes.
Exactly, because this change come when you know. It's something if you talk about the nature for the children's, but if you search the nature for the children's, for example, or show the nature, and grow up the love.
Oh, you're talking about children and
No.
what naturally occurs,
Yes.
their intelligence.
Yeah, and remember,
Oh,
I
yeah.
love this. I don't need think about protect this, because I love this. I want the best for this, the nature, your planet, your family, or your reality, no? And this change happens naturally.
Oh.
And but well, we have one part of the history of the genetic code controlled by extraterrestrial intelligence, and we need to understand this for without fear, because just we have many experiments in the planet, and biological experiments, and well, you know, the Pope told.
Tell us that
through
story.
Leonardo Balducci.
This is important for people to know.
Leonardo Balducci in Acapulco
And who is
Congress, and he's from Vaticano, no, Italian, as voice man of the
the
spokesman.
spokesperson.
Yeah, spokesman
For the Pope.
Vatican. Yeah, and he told UFOs exist.
This was at a UFO conference in Acapulco.
In Acapulco.
What year?
In 1999, in December. No,
99.
last year.
Okay.
After the reunion with the Daniel Goleman as the director of the NASA.
Of NASA.
Well, this is very strong information, and the Pope told, in other words, UFOs exist, and we need to study the UFOs. The Vatican have one project of $5 billion in the next 5 years for find where
the UFOs,
where we come from. This is the name of the project, and similar to this. And
the name of the project is
in research the digital, what the name it is, digital print of God.
Oh, the digital fingerprint of God.
Exactly. And this is one big project. It's $5 billion, but just 5 years, because he know he have the answers. And
the Pope, yeah.
Yeah, and many people have.
Oh, yeah.
But the people have fear again yet, and this need change. If we understand the love is the power, the unification of the humanity in the planet is the power for protect and construct the reality of this planet, we don't receive influence, extraterrestrial influence more, because this code, genetic code, or Adam Kadmon, change because now it's controlled. We lose many parts of the genetic code, and
genetic code.
Genetic code, and in the workshop we receive this information again.
So I'm going to just translate and synthesize.
Yeah. So.
You're saying that from extraterrestrial influence, we have lost access to some of the strands of our own DNA, some of the genetic code.
Exactly.
Because, as you were saying today in the workshop, I think very eloquently, just as we humans do laboratory tests on rats and mice, guess what? They're doing it with us. Therefore, you have the cattle mutilations. Therefore, you have maybe even people doing all sorts of highly destructive things to each other and to the planet, etc.
Yes, but
and
it's
your
important.
workshop, among others, is seeking to restore our own true inheritance, including the restoration of our genetic code to ourselves.
And this moment we remember we are stars in the earth. We have the power for construct this reality in the law of the many universe.
Yes.
In this moment we awake like a planet and grow up and ascend for the next level of the evolution. And this next level is so much free because no have duality, no polarities. We have just the freedom, what you want to do. Ein Sof, exactly. The infinite light. We don't have limits. And with the Merkaba, we can fly for other galaxies and exchange technologies. And it's very important technology because we don't need control more. We just awake for the reality of the universe. Again, after many years above the control. No?
Exactly. So we are at a transition point, which makes your work and putting this kind of message out to many most important of all times. You know?
Sounds complex in the workshop when you talk, but it's very easy.
Yeah.
You see.
You know what it really comes down to? And we're out of time, so we're going to have to get this message across now. To love. Amor. It comes to love.
Great power.
That if people, like you were saying before, Eduardo, if people are in touch with their hearts and their souls, that like they are with their own child, they would never allow destruction to happen. They
Yeah.
just wouldn't allow it.
Just no.
There's no place for it. Exactly.
Exactly.
Just no.
And unconditional love is the
Exactly.
law of the universe.
I want to thank you, my friend.
Thank you too. Thank you too
Absolutely.
for be there and expand more this important information.
It's my pleasure. And after this, stay tuned and you will see some clips of the workshop so you can know what it's like to spend time with Eduardo in these fabulous workshops. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you too.
1/3 of the vibration of the skies was
Not
lower.
of the skies of the population, of the
the
hierarchy.
la jerarquía.
1/3 follow.
Okay, of the 1/3 of the people in the hierarchy.
Na Bíblia se conoce como a terceira parte de los ángeles caíram.
In the Bible, it's also known as the third part of the angels that fell.
Nosotros estávamos aí felizes,
We were there, happy as can be.
éramos luz,
We were light.
teníamos plena liberdade de expressão
We had complete form of expression.
e desde entonces havíamos visto como ser tão elevado
And then we saw how a being that was so elevated
havia tomado uma decisão.
had taken a decision.
E é como se o diretor do colégio
It was as if the director of the school
dijera aos alunos:
would say
hoje
to the students, today
vamos a ir a uma classe
we're going to go to a class
e vamos a ter aula de química.
and we're going to have a chemical lesson, a chemistry lesson.
Só que não habla a nadie que esta aula de química é gás venenoso.
Yet he doesn't tell anyone that this class is made of chemical gas.
Todos os alunos entram na sala e se morrem,
All of the kids enter this chemistry class and die,
pensando que o diretor estava sendo o certo.
thinking that the director, the principal of the school was doing what was right.
Era seu diretor.
It was their
Se
principal.
suponía que ele sabia o que tinha que hacer.
We all thought that he knew what he was doing.
Da mesma maneira, hemos seguido a Lúcifer.
In the same way, we followed Lucifer.
Houve uma trampa.
There was a trap,
E a trampa era este livre-arbítrio.
and this trap was called free will.
La manzana
The apple
que decía Lúcifer o la culebra, la serpiente,
that which the snake said
que nosotros poderíamos assumir a mesma poder de Deus.
the snake said if we would eat this apple, we would be able to have the same powers of God,
Que é ter conhecimento do bem e do mal.
and that would be having the knowledge of good and bad.
E nosotros não conhecíamos a dualidade.
We didn't know what duality was.
Só conhecíamos a lei e a luz.
We only knew about the law of light,
E criávamos a partir de essa diretriz.
and through this law of light of who we were, this is how we lived our lives, this is how we directed our lives.
E nesse momento,
In that moment,
Lúcifer propuso primeiro ao aspecto receptivo, Eva, feminino,
Lucifer proposed first of all to the feminine aspect, to Eva,
que assimilara parte deste código genético,
that she assimilate, that she take on part of this genetic code that he was offering,
que basicamente é poder de decisão.
and which was basically having the power to make decisions.
Decisão antes de ter a capacidade emocional de sentir o que é
Take a
ácido,
decision
fuego,
before you feel the emotions of the decision.
se ele queima ou se ele calienta.
If the fire would burn or if it would warm up.
E assimilamos esse código genético, hemos comido a maçã.
And we ate that apple, we assimilated, we absorbed this genetic code.
A trampa era
The trap was,
que agora vamos a ter livre-arbítrio.
to now we're going to have free will.
Vamos a poder elegir entre o bem e o mal.
We're going to be able to choose between good and bad.
Só conhecíamos a luz,
Yet we only knew what light was.
não conhecíamos a escuridão.
We did not know what darkness was.
Então, nos vimos com esta capacidade.
So we saw ourselves with the capacity.
E bem, eu vou elegir a luz porque eu sou luz.
So we decided to choose light because that's what we were.
Mas realmente usar esta capacidade
Yet to really use this capacity
significa conhecer os dois elementos do qual estamos elegindo.
means that we have to have the knowledge of both of these elements of which we're making a choice.
E não conhecíamos a oscuridade.
And we did not know what darkness was.
E hemos decidido conhecê-la então.
And so we decided to get to know what darkness was.
Penetramos la matéria
We
oscura.
penetrated this dark matter.
Isso foi uma opção?
Was that an option? Was
Foi
that
uma
free
opção
will?
condicionada.
Yes, it was a option which was conditioned.
É o mesmo que dizer a ninho
It's the same as telling a child
se ele quer apertar uma pistola ou
that
não,
if he wants to hold a gun and shoot or not,
sem saber as consequências.
without knowing the consequences.
Então, temos parte da responsabilidade.
So we have a part of responsibility.
Temos sim parte da decisão,
We also have part of the decision.
mas já hemos conhecido a escuridão.
Yet we already have known what darkness is.
Ou alguém aún necessita um pouco mais de
Or does
egoísmo,
anyone need any more egoism,
de guerras,
war,
de dolor.
pain?
Vocês necessitam
Do you need this
para viver?
to live?
Se não necessitamos,
If we need,
se
do we
não,
need this?
se não necessitamos, então hoje já é tempo de tomar nova decisão.
Today it's time to make a new decision.
A luz se apresenta novamente.
Light is presenting itself again.
E que decisão vamos a tomar?
And what decision are we going to take?
Seguir em essa dualidade
Are we going to continue in this duality?
ou volver hacia onde venimos?
Or are we going to go back home where we came from?
Por isso é importante compreender a intenção e a atenção.
That's why it's so important to understand attention, intention.
São dois aspectos naturais de nosso veículo tridimensional.
These are two aspects of our three-dimensional form.
É a energia masculina e feminina.
It's the masculine and the feminine energy.